Welcome to Friday Night with Jonathan Ross, and blimey, Santa must have got my letter. It's G4, ladies and gentlemen. G4 helping us out on the show. Well, it's a double celebration tonight. One, it's nearly Christmas, which I'm excited about. And two, tonight is our 150th show. We've done 150 shows at the BBC. Thank you for that frankly lacklustre and slightly condescending response. And the BBC have given us this lovely cake. They've sent us a cake over to celebrate it with here. Here it is. I'm saying, well done, 100 shows. Jonathan, and they spelled my name wrong on the cake. Don't have a name, OK. And then we'll cut some of this, and then... Hold on. Graham Norton. Shall we see who is in my Christmas green room tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes!
Why don't we? My first guest is a comedian and one of the hardest working stand-ups in the business. It's the man antiperspirant sphere. It is Lee Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Evans on the show this evening. It's great to have Lee here. Lee, are you well? Are you physically well at the moment? Huh? Can you hear me, Lee? I see the mental health hasn't improved then. Lee Evans on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic to have Lee here. God bless you. My next guest is the grand dame of British theatre and television, though not a real dame. So come on, Your Majesty, it is Christmas, get your finger out. The lovely Liz Smith. Liz Smith. Liz, how lovely to have you here. It feels like Christmas already, doesn't it? Liz, you're looking lovely this evening.
Thank you very much, and so are you.
Oh, God bless you. And is everything all right? Everything all right for you at the moment? You got your winter heating allowance and all that?
Everything is wonderful.
Marvellous. Liz Smith on the show this evening. I am delighted. Thank you, Liz. Okay. Now, my last guest this evening is someone who we were trying to get on for a while. We were thinking about having on the show, and he said he would get onto this show if it killed him, and it very nearly did. It's the indestructible hamster himself. It's Richard Hammond. Richard Hammond. That's like a little Christmas gift to the nation right there. Richard, I know yes. I say this to all my guests, and it is quite often true, but I am genuinely pleased to see you here this evening.
It's nice to be here. Thank you very much,
Thank
Parky.
you so much for coming.
I'm all fixed.
Oh. I just need to clear one thing up. As this is a chat show, you can talk OK? Yeah?
Yes,
okay.
that's... I can do that still.
I don't have to plug you in anywhere?
No. This is automatic. I've been practising.
Richard Hammond on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that a lovely thing? Thank you so much for coming. And we have another treat in store. We have on the programme this evening Mr. Jarvis Cocker. Jarvis. I'm so looking forward to the show tonight. Jarvis, it's great to see you.
Good. Thank you.
How you doing? Blimey, look at the size. You've been tucking into those mince pies. You must be nearly 8 stone now.
Get lost.
My turkey's heavier than you.
Good.
Now, that's the show. What a great show. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I think I've found the perfect Christmas gift for the maniac in your life, OK? Here they are. This is an actual new product down there. It's a toy thing for young and old alike. OK, these... I don't know if you've seen these in the shops. You can get them in some toy shops and sporting shops. These are called power-izers, right? Power-izers or power risers. You strap these onto your legs, right? And the gadget shop where we got them from claimed that you can run at 20 miles an hour, right? And you can jump 9 feet in the air. Sounds great, doesn't it? I think so. Richard, sounds good, doesn't it? I think so.
I've done it. I have. It made me 6 feet tall. Then 20 feet tall, then horizontal.
Very good. Would you like me, ladies and gentlemen, to demonstrate them for you? Yeah! Okay. Well, I've been practising. They're quite hard to get a hand of, but I've been practising. I think I have the sort of measure of them now. I need to put my helmet on. I have to strap them on, so I'm going to be 1 second. Once I've got... And you need to wear, I should point out, the safety helmet you have to wear, OK? But these, when I've got them on, you won't believe what they can do. I'll be 1 second, I'm just going to strap them on. Wayne, if you can give us a hand here, putting these on here. Okay. Just going to make sure this is tight. OK, here I come. All right, and remember, don't try this at home. Made me look a little bit younger, a little bit, you know, healthier, perhaps. Nice little workout. Not even sweating. Beat that, G4. Should we get my first guest out? Yeah! Let's do that before his medication wears off. Will you welcome the mighty Lee Evans, ladies and gentlemen? I only sat in for a second. Well, what do you want to do? Come this way or that way?
Well, I'm a trained burglar. See, if you lock me out, I'm getting in at a moment's notice. All right, I will come down now.
Which way are you coming?
I'm coming down this way.
Well, are you OK there?
Yeah, oh.
Wait.
I got it.
You OK?
Yeah, I'm all right. Oh, you can see me tackle, look.
Lee Evans, ladies and gentlemen, making it. That's quite an entrance. Now what are you doing? Leave our tree decorating.
3 balls. Who say I not juggle with 3 balls? Juggle, eh?
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Come and sit down. I'll tell you what, I'm worn out already.
Oh.
I'm worn out already. You've worn me out. Sit down, Lee. Relax. Take it easy. Do you ever relax?
I've just pants.
No. Come on, sit there.
No, I really have. I have.
Sing!
What a very festive start to the interview that is.
And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
OK.
What are you doing for Christmas, Jonathan? What are you doing?
What am
I'm going burgling.
No, you're not. I'm relaxing at
I
home with the
surprised the
family.
burglar the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah, I broke into his house.
OK, and so you must... Did you lose something last time you were on the show?
There might be some change down here. That Jack D's been on here, hasn't he? We used to do that on the estate. When anyone come round our house on the council estate, we used to go quickly, as soon as they left, down the back of the couch.
Did you find much?
No, there's nothing, no one's got anything.
Hey, now, Lee
What?
Used to be a boxer
Yeah,
years
that's
ago.
right. Do you want to fight?
No. Did you ever get a serious blow on the chin or the face? Did you ever get knocked out when you were boxing?
Oh, loads of times.
That must be horrible.
They used to call me cauliflower.
That's like a Max Miller joke.
I don't know, is it? I don't know. I just made it up. But, no, I used to box. I was really good. I always came like 3rd.
Yeah.
What? Because I went the other week, you know. I went to the Excel Centre and watched the boxing there. It was fantastic.
Now, was that a big match? That was a big match, wasn't it?
Yeah, Audley Harrison.
Audley Harrison.
Yeah, and I got in there, I said, listen. No, I'm not a fighter. They're trying to ban boxing, and I think it's a great sport, it's a great discipline. I don't know what would happen if they ban it. They're just the ref in the middle of the ring going like that. I don't know what would happen, you know. But,
How was the match you saw last week, then? Was it a good
it's
match?
fantastic. I just like to sit there and watch it. But people are sort of chatting and stuff like that, but I do like the art of it. I like the discipline of it and all that.
So it really is the skill. I mean, being a boxer yourself, I guess you can appreciate that, what they're actually doing out there.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm not a big connoisseur of it. I just like the watching them do it.
But do you... But what do you enjoy about it? Do you...
You know, 2 half-naked men.
Oiled up?
Greco-Roman wrestling I like as well. I talked to which.
Yeah. Talking of Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah.
Where is this going to lead us?
I went to because my wife was having a go at me, and we went to the George Michael concert the other day.
Now, how was that? He's Greek. I suppose there's a link there somewhere, isn't there? OK, so George Michael, now this is a tour. I haven't seen this tour. I've heard it's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, because my wife loves him, and she booked the tickets, and we had such a great time.
Yeah.
I was dancing, man.
What was he singing when you were dancing?
He was singing, does it in the lounge, does it in the conservatory.
Yeah, all over the place.
I did.
Well, that's lovely. What a nice... just an outpouring, and George would love to see you doing that. I bet he was singing away and he looked up and said, there's a bloke having a fit in the top.
People used to say that to me in the clubs. So you I'm dancing.
But wow, you've got a lot of energy, haven't you?
Oh, amazing, isn't
What's your diet? What do you eat to give yourself so much energy, Lee?
I'm on all diets. So California diet, GI diet.
You try them all?
All the American ones.
So
I don't get it, because they're all still fat, aren't they?
Now, last time I saw Lee performing, I saw Lee live, and he wasn't doing comedy. He was on the London stage in the West End here in a brilliant play, which I wouldn't probably have gone to see unless I'd known you. And Liz Smith was in it as well as you. The brilliant Michael Gambon was in it. It's the Samuel Beckett play Endgame. It was a tremendous, exciting piece of theatre. And you were fabulous in it. You know, it was a difficult role because it was a physical role, which we know you do, but also it was proper acting as well. And it must have... No, you were great in it, and it must have been, I would have thought, quite daunting. You're on stage with two of the best living British actors that we have in the country.
I mean, I really do. Yeah, well, obviously, you know, working with Liz. Oh, look, there it is. Look.
Yeah, there you are.
I used to use that bin. I used to go and have to open the bin because Liz was in the bin.
She lived in the bin, didn't she?
Yeah, that's right. And it was like on a late Friday night, if we had a few accountants and that, and you know, the pinstripes and all that, sort of asleep on the front row like that, I'd really bash that lid down.
To wake them up.
Yeah, I'd go like, bang, like that, and they'd go like, oh!
It was obviously quite a sombre piece. It was funny as well, but it was quite sombre.
I love Beckett though. It's a lot deeper than.
It was brilliant. But did you find, do people pay attention, or did you have coughing going on and phones going off?
I think it depends on the acting. Because if you really get into character, I think you can really convince people of your character and the play. No, I really do.
Who was that meant to be?
That was me doing an impression
That was your
of an
actor
idiot.
self.
No, because it's just such a brilliant play. I think,
But you must love it, because it's a big commitment, I know. It's a lot of time. And I know you were in the producers last year as well, which is obviously a big drain in your time, and it's a lot of energy needed for that, but it's a different kind of thing. You're doing a more straight play again next year, aren't you?
I'm trying to.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to do an Harold Pinter play, because I love him. You know, because he's very similar to Beckett in a way. Yeah. And we're trying to get this dumb waiter thing on the go, and I'm
Which
just
hasn't
hoping,
been performed for years.
Because he's like the main man, really, Harold Pinter. So
well, he acts himself as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's a genius. He's a genius.
Lee's also going to be on TV next year in a thing which I thought was going to be at Christmas, and they moved it back.
Yeah.
But it's a drama on ITV based on. It's kind of a comedy drama, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, based on a novel by the great H.G. Wells, Mr. Polly. Now, what's the attraction of this for you, and what are you playing it?
Well, number one, H.G. Wells. That's the attraction.
Yes.
I'm trying because I'm such an idiot. I try to delve into some of the more the things that might educate me, that I might be able to learn something. So I try to dive into stuff like that.
So it's a challenge and it's a learning experience for you as well?
Absolutely. That's what life's all about. You know, it's all about learning and challenging yourself. And H.G. Wells, I couldn't believe it came along, because it was if you read the book, it's the closest to H.G. Wells' life, really.
Yeah, well, he had quite a strange life, didn't he?
He had a slightly odd life, in the fact that part of this film, in fact, is sort of based loosely on his life. You know, he was a drapery assistant, apprentice and all that, and he had a couple of wives and a bird on the go and all this.
Were they wives in the same family? Was it a wife and a cousin or something?
That's right, yeah. He married his cousin, yeah.
Now, well, this is obviously, it's a period piece.
Yeah, that's
When's it set?
right.
It's Edwardian times or late Victorian times?
Set in the future.
Yeah. When's it set?
Yesterday. We went out to the pub, we've done it. No, it's Edwardian, 18th century, 1894, 1895.
That's Victorian?
Yes.
Okay,
well,
okay.
they were in a bit of a hurry. You've seen them old black and white films.
They were looking ahead. OK, this is Lee, and you play the title role, don't you? You're Mr. Polly in the thing.
I am.
OK, before you go, Lee, I know you're an interesting character, because you're full of life, you're full of energy, you know how to entertain and perform as well as act seriously. But you also, I know you are on this kind of learning curve. Are you writing something at the moment? You're writing, is it a drama or is it a book based on an unusual subject?
No, Stuart and I, my writing partner, sat in a darkened room for like the last 4 months.
Right, and what were you working on?
We're working on a script called about Hitler's Weatherman.
Hitler's Weatherman?
Yes.
Now, that sounds like a joke. Is it a jokey script, or did Hitler actually have a weatherman?
Yeah, well, of course, all people that run a country or you're running a war have a weather centre, a weatherman.
Right.
And this certain weatherman got most of the predictions wrong.
Which was probably good for us, but bad for Hitler.
Absolutely, and he got, like, the Russian front wrong, all the German troops, they froze to death. Michael Fish, he got it wrong, didn't he?
It wasn't quite as tragic.
Yeah,
though,
I won't tell you the ending, but because we've just spent a fortnight trying to sort the ending out, as you always do with the scripts.
So you don't want to blow it now, but what a great thing to stumble upon.
Yeah, it's really very interesting.
For some reason, they put a picture of Hitler up as if anyone needed reminding. Here you go. That's who we've been talking about, a fella called Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, he's on tour at the moment. That looks like 1984, doesn't it, or something?
That's quite horrible. You look like a little rat boy there.
That's great, isn't it?
Lee, promise us all now you will never grow a moustache like that.
I'm going to sing you a song now.
Are you going to do a little song before you go?
Before I go, I'm going to sing you a song. I'm going to get on the piano.
OK.
Yeah, and we're all going to sing together, all right? We're going to sing Ooh It Annie over the fanny with the flounder. No, we're going to sing... Ooh.
You give me a coughing fit. Lee, as always,
All together.
it's been a pleasure. Mr. Lee Evans, ladies and gentlemen.
How do you get down?
Lee Evans, a powerhouse. Lee, thank you very much indeed. You made me cough.
Yeah.
Lee Evans, thank you, Lee. I'll see you later. You know what this show needs? Well, there's lots of things it needs, but you know what it needs right now? It needs a bit of old-fashioned elegance and charm.
Before we go any further, I've
Yes,
got
Liz?
to apologise.
Why is this?
That I haven't climbed in over there. I'm just not capable of it.
I don't think anyone but Lee is. Come and have a sit down. It's lovely to have you here, Liz.
It's
It
lovely
really
to
is a
be
pleasure.
here on this
I'm
lovely-
amazed we haven't had you
I
on
love
before.
couches and sofas and chairs and things like that.
Well, sitting down generally is a great thing, isn't it?
Sitting down is great, yes. That's what I do.
It's now it's lovely to have you here, and I was told that you celebrated a birthday quite recently. Liz?
I did last week. I had a birthday.
Well, congratulations.
Yes. Well, no, it wasn't last week. It was the beginning of this week.
Okay, so it's just gone by.
It's just gone.
Okay,
Yes.
and can I ask, is it
Yes.
okay to ask how many years you celebrated?
Well, yes, I can tell you because this little teddy bear was sitting on my bed, brought by Father Christmas, in 1924, when I was 3 years old.
Unbelievable.
Now, reckon that.
So so you were born in 1921.
I was born in 1921.
And you've had that
yes.
teddy since then.
And I've had that teddy since then.
What a lovely
Yes, it's a
story.
bit dirty now, you know, but...
Well, I think we can
I
excuse
mean,
it
after
now.
80 years, what do you
And does
expect?
Teddy have a name?
Yeah, yes, it's called Teddy.
Well, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah. And
So
it-
that makes you're 85, I guess. Is that right?
You could say that, but don't tell everybody.
I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, and the music still works.
Listen. After 80 years, he can still sing.
Isn't that
Isn't that good?
Wow, how
Yes,
lovely.
yes.
What a beautiful thing to
Yes,
hold on to.
yeah, that was nice. It was my Christmases when I was a little girl,
sweet.
in the 20s.
Liz, how are you spending Christmas? Where will you
With
be
family,
and what will you be
of
doing?
course, yes,
Lovely.
family, I'm glad to say.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yes.
Nice. Do you have a big
yes.
family?
I have enough family, you
Okay.
know, not a big one.
Okay.
2 children and 4 grandchildren, which is lovely.
Oh, how
lovely, yes.
And is there anything, for example, when your family think about what to get you
Yeah.
for Christmas, what do they reach
Oh,
for?
well,
What kind of-
now I only say, don't buy me things, because when you move house, it's a nuisance having things. So all I say is consumables, you know, like washing up liquid, bog rolls, cleaning materials, you know, bath foam.
do
anything
they
like
wrap
that.
the bog
Yeah.
rolls for you before they give it to you?
They wrap them up beautifully in the most beautiful paper with
But your face must be a picture when you open and go, oh, Andrex, you shouldn't have.
I do. And I think of them when I'm using it.
Fabulous. Do you engage with the modern world in the way that many do? Do you like gadgets? Do you like mobile phones? Do you have an email
I can't
account?
work a mobile phone, no, unfortunately. My son made me get one in case I was in dire straits and had to ring him. But unfortunately, when I am in dire straits, I can't ring him because I can't work the damn thing. I can work a fax, because you can draw little pictures on a fax, and it's marvellous. It will appear in Australia or anywhere. It's magic. That's magic.
Now, you mentioned drawing a fax
Yes,
there, and I know that
yeah.
you do draw. You sketch a little bit.
Yes, I once was an art student many years ago, but then I've neglected it. But when I retire, I'm going to take it up again. and I'd like to live in a warm climate and take up my drawing and painting again.
And you like the painting as well, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
When
yeah.
you were an art student, did you paint? Did you do nude life studies? Did you do that kind of thing?
Nude portraits, still life,
Yeah.
everything.
And
yes.
you just enjoyed the...
Yeah. you know, I really liked it.
Do you still do?
know,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, look at that.
You know, yeah.
Well, you know,
I liked it.
Just down now, and it's not why Liz came on the show. We just really wanted to have her on the show, especially after we saw.
That's my book.
But this came out, I think, much earlier in the year, didn't it?
It was earlier.
So much earlier
It
in the
came
year.
out about Easter.
Well, I didn't know about
yes.
it. It's still out,
Yeah.
and I've started reading it in advance to come on the show, and it's fabulous. I'm telling you, it's just filled with what an incredible life
It's my
you've
weird
led.
life story.
What an incredible life.
Yeah, really, really odd life.
But
not a, you know, not an odd. It was.
Well, because
big,
now, you know, I think of it. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I can't think of a time when I wasn't seeing you on TV. You seem to have
but
been
there was a time when you.
Because-
Oh no, there wasn't, because you weren't even born.
Yeah, well, because how old were you before you became successful as a performer?
Before I had any success, I was always doing it, you know, in one way or another, because I worked at Butlins for years and years, you know, in the theatre and all that. And it was lovely going to the seaside in the summer, but I didn't really get success until I was 50.
Wow.
No.
Now, many people
50,
would give up long before then.
Yeah, I had to keep going. I had to keep going. And then I was lucky enough to meet Mike Leigh, and he was doing his first film, and that's what I got. And that altered my life.
Isn't that incredible?
Overnight though.
Which was that film? Was that
marvellous.
Bleak Moments?
Bleak Moments was his first one.
Right.
And then he did Hard Labour with me for the BBC,
Wow, and so really that late in your life before you
that late.
And after
oh boy, but was it lovely when it happened?
Yeah.
You see, it was a long wait, and sometimes it felt it would never happen, you know, and it was a grind. Life was a grind, but when it did. Magic, you see.
Am I right in thinking that you were older than retirement age when you won your first BAFTA?
My BAFTA, I was in a play with Richard Briers, and it was the opening night of the play, and I had my name up in lights for the first time, and I went to Grosvenor House and I got the BAFTA for, what did I get it for?
I don't know what you got it for. Oh, I know. Was it Private Function?
Private
the film?
Function, yeah. Alan Bennett's play. And I got the BAFTA that night, all in one night.
How incredible.
And I was already having a bus pass. You know,
That's so
I was already in my
But when many
60s.
people are thinking, but isn't that a great, it's a great example to people if they want to take things up or keep on going because, you know...
No, that was it. It was almost like a beginning, you know.
Let me ask you about the Royle Family.
The Royle Family,
An incredible series.
That was
really...
a highlight, of course. Came late, but wonderful.
I can't imagine anyone else in the role. I really can't.
No.
Did Caroline write it for you?
No, I don't think she did in the beginning, but she did this last one when I died.
Yeah.
Yeah, she killed me.
Well, that was...
but
you were getting too popular, that's what it was. You thought, I'll get her out of the way.
But
Now,
didn't she write me a...
it was what a beautiful... And really,
What-
it was all
what a
about your
script.
character, really.
What
wasn't
a
it?
script she wrote. I mean, she's brilliant.
Yeah.
is
It
Caroline.
really was a remarkable piece of TV. I didn't see it when it
yeah,
first went out. I watched it
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
And it must have been lovely to know that you're going to something as well written as that. And it's...
Oh, it was wonderful because it didn't start big, you know. It started as a little funny old script just coming through the front door.
Yeah.
And nobody took sort of any notice. But when I read it, oh my God, I just want to say these words, you know, they were so real.
But you know, it's strange because often you hear people complaining and saying there aren't parts written for women and there
Yeah.
aren't parts written for older women,
Yeah.
and yet you
Yeah.
seem to be living proof that that really isn't the case.
Yeah, because although I died a few weeks ago, you know, I'm glad to say I'm doing a completely opposite part in something else. I'm playing a sex kitten in a thing.
This is
So
a new
you
thing.
can go from death to sex kitten.
That's fabulous. And this
That's
is it's not a joke. You are playing.
No.
You're playing a sexy character.
I am, yes.
Which is great.
Yes, I am.
But
Yes.
so what's the idea behind this thing then? You're
Oh, well, we're all recovering, you know, in a beautiful house.
Right, okay.
It's that kind of
So you're
thing.
recovering
Yeah.
addicts or people with personality problems? Or,
Personality problems, and mine is my sexiness, and but I'm on a Zimmer frame.
Can I ask, is it true that you
Yeah.
live, and this is through choice, I believe, you live in a retirement home?
No, I've just moved to a retirement home because I've lived in houses all by myself because after the husband went, you know.
Yes,
You
yes.
know how they go.
Yeah.
And, you know, lots of stairs and looking after it. And I thought, I'll try that idea. And I'm so glad I did. I love it.
Well, get someone else
Yes.
to do the cleaning, basically, so you don't have to worry about all the bits and
No,
pieces.
I've got a warden, you see. So if I've got any worries, the warden...
So what, there's a room
sorts
for
me
yourself,
out.
of course, I guess.
No, I've got a nice flat.
A nice flat?
Nice flat.
So it's not, you don't have to share, it's not like a bunk bed.
No, not quite, no. It's one up from that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, no, it's
and
not a bad concept.
No, I really like it.
So you've got a flat and a
Yeah.
warden, and they
And
basically...
a warden, flat and a warden, and really nice neighbours, you know, all the people
That's
who
really
live
nice.
there have cups of tea together and gossip. And I mean, there are a couple there of ladies who are still only 60 years old.
They're the teenagers of the group, they're
so
kids.
We treat them like children, you know. We're so envious. We're so envious to be only 60.
You seem to be getting around so well, so easily, and
Yeah.
you know, I've interviewed an
Yeah.
awful lot of people,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you've
I
got
know.
all your faculties intact, and man, I've met people who are...
well,
Well, look, I had Girls Aloud on the couch a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago, and the second one in was nowhere near as lively as yours. God bless her. You know what I'm saying? You know, some young people, oh,
yeah.
it's like a little lump of lard down the end there. God bless her. I mean, how do you keep it all together? How do you keep... I mean, there are things you do to keep your brain active, to make sure you...
Not a lot.
Do you do a Sudoku?
No,
I've been
not
told a
a lot.
Sudoku is meant to be good for keeping...
Oh, I don't even know how to do that. I don't do anything, really. I just sit around and drink tea, really.
There you go. That's the answer. That's all
Yeah,
you need.
and I don't smoke.
That's a
I
good
think that's the main thing, really.
Yeah. How lovely to meet you properly and to have you on the show.
And it's lovely to meet you,
Well, thank you.
Jonathan.
I'm a huge admirer of your work, and you know what? There's a new honours list coming up. I don't know what's in it, but if they don't make you a dame, then there's something wrong, isn't there?
Oh,
What's going on? The Lee Smith has not been honoured. It's ridiculous. Let's all start writing letters in now. I don't know if they open them, but let's do it.
Well, Ricky Tomlinson has made me a dame. I've got the accolade of Ricky Tomlinson.
Well, that's probably
What
better.
more
then.
do you
Yeah,
want?
You don't. Hey, Liz, how lovely to meet you properly. Thank
And
you
meet
so much
you,
for coming on the show.
Jonathan. It's lovely.
And have a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you, and you,
Okay.
and with your family.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, the lovely, the charming Liz Smith. You can head off now.
Darling.
I love Teddy. How wonderful you still got Teddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me give you a hand.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
How lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay? There should be someone to help you.
Jonathan.
Okay. I will see you later, I hope. Thank you, Liz.
See you.
Liz Smith, isn't she incredible? She's brilliant. Now, you know, we get sent stuff into the show, and I was sent this pre-Christmas gift this week. It's called Zounds. It's a kind of a new toy thing out. Well, I think it's kind of... Here it is, right? It's called Zounds, and it's sort of an interactive... it's described as an interactive fusion of light and sound, OK? You turn it on... Here you go, OK? All right? Looks more like a sort of a melted candle to me. It's like wax is put out. Anyway, let's give it a go. What you do is you get these things with it, these little shapy things, and you put them on the things, and when you do... Listen, I'll get near from my microphone. Yeah, and then you can change the sound by... Pretty good, isn't it? Then I'm going to change the beat here with this thing. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. It's my birthday, Don't do it, 'cause it's my birthday. We did the GD, 'cause it's my birthday. Come on, baby. Get it on the upside, inside out. I've got you here for a minute. Now, shall we get my final guest out this evening, ladies and gentlemen? Well done, with you. Now, I usually ask guests to get out as fast as possible, but on this occasion, for God's sake, take it steady, will you? Please, will you welcome, and I'm delighted he's here, probably as much as you are, it's Mr. Richard Hammond. Isn't it just a huge relief to see Richard Hammond here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm delighted you're here, and you do seem to be well. Is everything OK? Is it all kind of the worst of it's all over?
Who said that? No, I'm absolutely fixed. Yeah, I am really. I'm mended. I'm very, very lucky.
But you know what's so ridiculous, Richard, is there doesn't appear to be a scratch on you, and you had this
Not
awful
a
accident.
mark.
Are
Not a
there
mark.
scars anywhere?
No, that's quite a sore point actually, because there is nothing. Honestly, there are people. No, I know it sounds a bit sick, but it would have been nice. I was in a coma for quite a long time. My wife could have just, run a Stanley down there. Instead of a dueling scar, would have been really.
Made you
good.
look a little
Nothing.
less pretty, a little more manly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I had a slight scab on my shin.
And that's all you got. No, but OK, so...
It was nasty. It was just about there. But not bad. That was it, because all the damage was to my brain.
You
which
would
is-
have... Oh, yeah, exactly.
my
So,
head.
so nothing to worry about there, then.
No, that's fine.
OK, let's talk through this, because I know I've read about it, but I just want to hear from you what was going on and what happened. This was for Top Gear, of course.
Yes.
Okay, and you were racing a very fast rocket car, is that right?
You make it sound so sensible, don't you? No, I wasn't racing it. The idea was to have a go in this jet car.
Okay.
It was propelled by a jet engine.
Okay.
So essentially, you strap yourself to the front of a jet engine and then go, whoa! Is the idea.
And
I didn't, as it turned out. I swore, and then it went dark.
Was it bad driving? Is that what happened? You were driving along, and or did maybe a pigeon go in front of you or something? What actually happened? How did you crash
Very
it?
nice about it. Was it bad driving, possibly?
Well, I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I mean, they're investigating to try and find out exactly what made it
So we
happen,
can't really go on that. I guess there's a shot. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you want to see this. There's a shot of the car.
Yeah, that's my parking. Not good. Not brilliant.
Okay, and can you remember much of the actual accident and the events that took place on that day itself?
I can talk you through it. I was driving, and then it was 2 weeks later, and I was in Leeds.
That's it?
Yeah, well, there's bits and pieces rattling around in there, but I mean, it was a bit brisk. It was all over quite quickly.
And does it, of course, but were you aware that it was going wrong? Did you know you were going to crash, or was it that fast?
There was a sense of, oh, bugger. But then the problem is
Hold
something
it.
like that.
I'm sure it was slightly stronger than oh bugger.
Possibly. But apparently I was awake on the way to the helicopter
Yeah,
when
that's
that
what I
took me
was
away.
told. You were awake in the car, but you don't remember that.
I got a bit fighty. Surprised they didn't just leave me there, frankly.
So you were saying, get off me, get off me.
Yeah, and then I wanted to talk about the car. It's not very useful, really, at that point.
So you thought you were doing a piece to camera still for the show?
I wanted to do a piece to camera, yeah. Not good. My eyes were pointed in different directions and my head was starting to expand. And,
So they would have thought it was Jeremy Clarkson?
Yes, just standing further away. I've no recollection of that at all. I can't remember it.
That's remarkable.
I can't remember the first few weeks.
And does it sort of come back to you gradually, or do you think those memories are gone?
After the crash, this will stop me when I get boring, because I've done nothing else for the past few months.
Well, of course.
So I'll rattle on
no,
about
but
it
I'm
endlessly.
dying to hear about it. I do want to hear about it.
Well, I had post-traumatic amnesia,
Right.
which basically means I had a sort of 5-second memory. So the guys who'd come round, it just meant whilst I was in hospital, I was completely useless. So they'd come round with a menu of what was up for lunch, and they'd show me, oh, look, cottage pie. That's my favourite. I'll have that, please. 5 minutes later, it would arrive, cottage pie. Ah, my favourite. How did you know? And then I'd order it again for tea. They'd come around and do the same again. 5 days on the trot. I had cottage pie until my wife eventually said, could you just tell him it's off?
It's like that film Memento. Have you seen that film Memento, where the guy...
Probably.
Yeah.
The thing is, I did I'm very lucky because that all went away, because all the damage to my brain was in the bit of your brain that doesn't control the way you
So
move
your motor
everything.
skills and that
all
kind of
stayed,
stuff.
yeah. It's actually just the way you think.
And have your memories that you had before the crash, do you still have those? Can you still access them?
Yeah, that was all there. But there was a point at which I couldn't daydream, and that was just bloody weird.
And what does that mean, Dave? Because I suppose it's something we do without realising, but...
Yes, it is, completely. And I sat down on a bench whilst I was recovering. I sat down on a bench, and there was a beautiful view and some trees, and it was very nice. And I thought, oh, I'll have a little daydream. Marvellous. I can't. Nothing happened. Because you know, your brain's a mushy old thing. Please, the surgeons who fixed me are going to be thinking, what is he talking about? That's all I can remember. I would look at something like a tree, and normally all your thoughts connected with trees arrive in one lump.
Yeah.
And so it might be, you might remember carving a girl's name in them, falling out of one, running into one, and you don't necessarily think about them, but they're there.
They're there, yeah. They
Nothing.
Just... That must have been terrifying.
If I was a poet, I would have been really...
But it must have been scary even so,
it was,
even though you're not a poet.
Yeah, it was very, very frightening.
Did you think you were a poet at the time? Is that what scared you about it?
That's very what unnerved me.
I'm Wordsworth. Why can't I think of something?
I thought I was a famous poet. No, it was really, it was very
But you didn't
strange.
have delusions of any sort. You didn't actually feel like you were someone else, or you didn't... I mean, you kind of knew you were you, did you?
How do you know? They tell you to look at this. This is, again, I'm very lucky because I've got through all of this. And there are people who had far less severe accidents on the surface of it who are still grappling with these things. But in my case, I can look back and you're warned about things like personality change. Look out for that. How?
Yeah.
How do I know?
So do you think your wife has in any way tried to capitalise on this? For example, since you read it, did she now say, you know what, you always did the washing up and it was your favourite thing?
She actually did, Mindy, my wife, actually did say Now you're really nice to me all the time. Remember, you buy me all those presents.
She's
cars
now
and ponies.
looking ashamed of herself, as she should.
Because she knows that's absolutely true. It did happen.
She gets more chocolates than ever before now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a relief for your family, and everyone really got very upset about it, which is, I would have thought, nice to know. Did you have any inkling that you were that popular?
No, well, it was very, very sweet. And the one thing I would say is it really does make a difference. If you're lying there all poorly in hospital, and in my case, really sort of a bit confused for quite a long time, when cards come in, it really matters.
I've met Richard once or twice, only briefly. I've interviewed you on a radio show, and I
You're
met
not
you...
going to make stuff up now, are you?
No. Well, he's always found me very attractive and always kissed me as he left. But, I'm saying I can't claim to know you terribly well, but you don't seem fundamentally changed in any way. I mean, I feel like I'm talking to the same person as I did before the accident.
How do I know?
Yeah, well, I'm reassuring you here.
God, no.
But have there been changes? Has your wife or any friends close to you said, no, you never used to do this, or you never used to like this? Have you changed in any way like that?
Well, you're told to look out for these personality changes, and, you know, things like anger can be a problem. It's tricky. How do you know when it's an issue? So if I come home and one of the dogs, and we have many, has pooed in the hall, I'll go off the meter, I'll get really cross. Oh, what's that dog? Dad, that's a dog. And I can just hear everybody thinking, brain damage, anger. Oh no, the dog's just crapped in the hall. That's reasonable. So it really, they call it lost keys syndrome when you go home. And
Richard, can I just check something? You sure it was the dog?
Again, I don't know.
Your wife can blame anything she wants on this.
Did I not always do that?
I hear that you like certain foods now that you didn't like before. Is that right?
Yes, I have been improved by this. Slightly.
Okay.
I like celery, which I've spent a life... It's not a biggie, I know.
But no one actively seeks out celery, do they?
I've spent a lifetime of... You know that gagging thing when you're a kid? Oh, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I used to do that if celery went even near me, but since the crash, I like celery.
You like it a lot, or an inordinate amount?
Well, I mean, I don't feast on it all day long. No, but it's nice, it's good.
Okay.
But I have been slightly improved. I can remember numbers now.
You can remember numbers, so
Yeah.
you couldn't before. This is a new kind
Well,
of skill.
you know, we've all got mobile phones.
Yes.
So all your numbers are in there. So if you need anybody's number, you look at...
Yeah.
It's right in there now.
Well, hold it. All your phone numbers,
All in there. Catalogue.
and you can get them.
Yeah.
That's you're like a superhero.
I am slightly improved. I think it's just because temporarily it's got less stuff in there. So
But Richard, I'm really excited by that because in
I
comic
wouldn't
books,
recommend it as therapy, by the way.
No,
if
no,
you're
but
thinking of it.
in comic books, when someone has an accident, they always come out stronger, faster, better. You come out with a better memory and well, I love a celery, but you know, it's like a kind of.
It's not, you can't. You're gonna
We should
celery
get you
outfit.
we could call you Celery Number Man.
Celery
we could get a
clothes. This is a comic you're working at.
Yeah,
this
well,
is slightly sick and worrying.
We'll split the merchandising.
I'll do it. That sounds very...
Now, here's I would have thought the loveliest thing was going home with your wife, knowing that you were given more or less the all clear, and seeing your girls and being at home with your wife and your family. Was there a period, I mean, were you aware enough that this might not happen, or were you concerned that you might not be able to return to a normal family life?
That sort of stuff went on, but I was out of it because I was either in a coma or clinically confused.
So that's a blessing, really.
So for me, yeah, I meant my wife Mindy and also my whole family, my mother. It wasn't very nice to stand there and see me in that state. And yes, Mindy had to consider maybe raising the kids on her own, which is a hard one.
Yeah, but you know where you're ahead of the game there, because she's standing in the hospital room looking at you, thinking, oh, I might have to move on, right? I might need a new partner. Is Clarkson and the other well, no challenge, is it, really? You know what I mean? She's going to stay single, isn't
Choice
she, really?
was 2 old men or be on her own. Yeah, that would have been
Two old men
nice.
in tight jeans, you know, they can't even father. There's no way they're fathering any more children. She's going to stay single.
So she would have stayed to the memory.
You're in the clear,
That's
well
nice.
done.
I hadn't thought of that until now, and that's some comfort.
Can I ask you something? This might sound ridiculous. I know you've said a few times in the coma, but when you're in the coma, is anything going on in the coma that you can remember? Is it like a dream, or are you aware of anything going on outside of yourself?
I guess it's rather personal and unique to each
I guess
coma.
so.
I mean, I just don't know how... There's different degrees of coma, and mine was an especially bad, well, the worst level. I was very proud of that.
And they have levels. They have levels like hurricane
the Glasgow
levels.
coma scale, yeah, it was 15 down to 3,
Hold on
and
a
3 is
second.
the worst.
The Glasgow coma scale.
I've been told all this stuff when I was in hospital. It might have been made up.
I think they've made that up. Some blokes say, yeah, we call it Glasgow because after a few drinks they headbutt each other. Where's the Glasgow coma?
I don't know, but it was the Glasgow. Seriously,
The Glasgow coma scale,
goes
okay.
from 15 is not so bad.
15.
That's like you're probably 15 most of the time. Down to 3, which is the worst. And I was a solid three for quite a long
So
time.
you're
I was
completely...
still sort of in and out.
And this is them checking on brain activity, I guess, and your responses to outside stimuli.
Yeah, although they did, yes. I sort of heard stuff going on, but you're in and out.
You don't remember the fact that we got Paper Lace to come in and play for you to try and get you out, do you?
Nice. Nice.
Paper Lace got no response whatsoever. I used to like Paper Lace. Do you remember Paper Lace?
Can I say no, anyway?
I'll
just claim it's...
Billy, don't be a hero. There was a
Again, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, but no one does. It's just me here. Well, you know, man, it's obviously it's such a lovely end to this particular episode in your life. The fact that you're okay, you're in the clear. Do you have to have a special regimen now? Do you have to look after yourself in a certain way, or do you just carry on as normal and hope for the best?
Partly because I just feel that there's a real sense from the experts that glued me back together. There's a real sort of, now look, you've been very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I had the best crash helmet, the best harnesses and everything else, but there's also quite a lot of luck in there.
Yeah, of course.
And so I think they'd be really cross if I did anything wrong. But yeah, I can't drink.
You can't drink?
2 years.
2 years you can't drink? Alcohol?
I can have weak lager. Don't laugh, it's all I can have.
Richard, is this something your wife told you yet again? Or
We aren't driving around to see a lot of people this Christmas. Maybe that's connected.
You love visiting my mother.
You love driving and not drinking all Christmas. No, I can only have weak lager and only 1 or 2. Yeah.
Let me ask you about going back to Top Gear, because for a start, you mentioned driving just then. You said drive. So presumably you've driven again. I saw a photograph of you in the papers driving a tractor. But was there a moment...
That was really dignified.
Was there a moment when you got back behind the wheel the first time? Was there any kind of fear? Was there any concern about whether you wanted to do that ever again, or what might happen?
No, I mean, it was a jet car. The last thing I heard was a jet engine. I mean, that's not... And then I get into my car, I've got a little old Morgan sports car made of wood, and it's an ordinary car.
Yeah,
so again, plenty of people do have head injuries and then comas and then come out of it, and the last thing they did do was drive the car to go to the shops. So that's an ordinary car.
Yeah, yeah.
So how they get back in,
So they would associate that with what happened to them.
Yeah. But in my case, no, because
so you won't get in a jet car again, though?
Well, I think twice, not for shopping.
All right, so you're going to be back in Top Gear. Yeah. You're going to go, is it true, and I don't know if it's true, but I read somewhere that Jeremy Clarkson said that you three had a pact as to how you would deal if someone was involved in an accident which either forbade them from returning to the show or indeed ended their life prematurely. There was a way you were going to deal with the sad farewell on the show.
There was, and there is, and that agreement remains in place, that should one of us croak, Jeremy or whichever one of us is left would stand there and go, obviously last week or whenever Jeremy, James, Richard was tragically killed. But the next word, this is the agreement, has to be anyway. But it has to be delivered right, because you have to go, was tragically killed to death. Anyway, there's a new Astra Diesel out. And then they just talk about it. And that is, I think there was a sense of genuine disappointment.
Oh, no.
They didn't get, because they must have been thinking, finally we get to...
But they pride themselves on showing no emotion and that kind of thing. It's like
or indeed feeling.
Yeah, but there must be some deep down inside, I'm sure. Both of them, I bet, were going home and sobbing on their wives, or I don't know if the other bloke has got a wife, maybe on a dog or something that he's got. A cat, maybe. Yeah. He's like an old spinster living at home. Yeah. Possibly even a dead, stuffed cat, not even a...
Nobody dare tell him.
Sobbing onto that, thinking, Richard, get what? Do you think there was any of that?
Really unpleasant image for so many. Don't you think? That's really just not
Clarkson
nice.
Crying over you.
Oh, that's really unpleasant. No, I don't think so.
Can I just say, is this going to sound a silly question, but when you're better and you're back and you're looking, do you think your insurance rate's going to go up on your car? Do you think they're going to...
It hasn't. Kid you not, it hasn't. We've already checked that. I checked it fairly soon after I got home.
As soon as you got out?
Yeah. Have you had any crashes in the last 12 months? Bit. No, it hasn't affected
Once
it
again,
at all.
because it's a jet car, of course.
Well, it was on a runway. I mean, the last thing I saw was a paramedic on that side, and it was all... You know.
Yeah. Well, it's fabulous you're well, and of course it's nice that you're out in time for Christmas, of course. Presumably you'll be spending Christmas, I would have thought, at home with the family?
Oh, yes, absolutely, at home with the kids. The girls did come and see me in hospital, by the way.
Did they?
And Mindy, my wife, had said, now, Daddy's banged his head, you have to be very good. Oh, yes, fine. So I brought them into the room, but I'd really hurt this eye quite nicely. I thought I might lose it, so I had a big eye patch on with a big bandage around it. Keep that on. Yes. Was still quite confused at the time. So they walked into the room. Hello, Daddy. Hello, kids. Look at this. this? Straight in. Yeah, immediately.
What did they do?
Lot of screams. lot of not sleeping.
You know what's great now, though? Richard, if they're being troublesome at bedtime, just put the old eye patch on and come up and
That's very scary.
Halloween, we know what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Daddy's been in the wars again.
It only gets as far as that and then be off.
Richard, I am thrilled you're well. I mean, it was a horrible thing to read about, and it was a horrible thing to see, and not knowing what would happen to you. Even for those who don't know you, it was a horrible thing. I can't imagine what your family went through, but thank God you're all out the other side now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all's well that ends well.
And thank you so much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Hammond.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. That's brilliant. And I'll see you again in a minute. Thank you. Really great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks to all my guests tonight, Richard Hammond, of course, Lee Evans, who's brilliant, Liz Smith, who's fabulous, and, of course, Jarvis Cocker. Now, this is our last show of the series, so from everybody on the programme, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll be back.